A 14-year-old boy. A 14-year-old boy. A 14-year-old boy. How you think that makes me feel that my daughter getting her body to in and everybody?
Girl, what you want? I'm trying to catch the tea with D real quick.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Bad bitch, put your hands up high. Hands up high. Hands up high. Tell them put the lights down right now. Put me in the booth. I'm talking.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't run across me before, hey, I go by Didi. Okay, real quick, y'all, I have been getting a few emails asking if I still do small business promo. Yes, y'all, I still do small business promo. If you like to send me anything or any of that nature, you want some advertisement and things like that, go ahead and hit me on my email. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and it's also going to be in the description down below. Also in the description, you can find my Twitch link, my second channel link, my Discord link, my Instagram link, everything in the description, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all check that out before y'all finish watching the video. Okay, y'all, let me go ahead and get into my disclaimer real quick. Anything I say in this video, I found online. I'm not trying to bash or slander anybody's name, and I'm doing this video under YouTube's fair use guidelines. All right, y'all can see by the title that this video is going to be about a TikToker by the name of Big Mama, another TikToker by the name of Poo Poo, and Big Mama's daughter named Mercedes. So Big Mama and her daughter Mercedes have been in the headlines of TikTok recently. They've been running through the TikTok streets or whatever because of an argument they got into it. They've been going back and forth online. There has been a lot of allegations that Big Mama has put on Mercedes. Mercedes is saying it's not true or whatever. But a lot of y'all have been suggesting I do Big Mama. So when I looked it up, I was like, oh, this seemed pretty straightforward. It looked like they back cool now or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, it wasn't really too much to talk about. But you know me, I start doing my digging, and y'all, Big Mama got a lot of skeletons in that closet. It seemed like, you know what I'm saying? The streets are saying she a scammer, she's a fraud, y'all. And y'all know when somebody got a Reddit page and a Facebook page, they got a Facebook group with all these members in it. Y'all know everybody not lying. So I start doing my little digging, my little research, and y'all, it go deep. So Big Mama definitely have a deeper story to her, y'all. So yes, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this Big Mama real quick. So Big Mama's real name is Tiffany Curry, and she's from Mississippi. So according to Reddit, Tiffany didn't graduate high school, and she started talking to an older married man. At the time, Tiffany was 17, and the married man, whose name is Pete, was 41. So Tiffany messed with Pete for a little bit, and at this time they were messing around. She didn't have any kids yet or anything. So she ended up messing around with Pete's nephew. So she ended up getting pregnant with Pete's nephew. So this is her first baby daddy. So yes, y'all, Tiffany is pregnant with Pete's nephew, and she ends up having her first child, which is Mercedes. So yes, y'all, she has Mercedes. She's still talking to Pete's nephew or whatever, but they end up not working out. They argue, fall out, however that go, and she ends up meeting another man. So she ends up pregnant again by this new man she met, and she has her second child, which is her first son. So this new man is now her second baby daddy. So Tiffany has her son, and her second baby daddy end up not working out either. So this is when Tiffany goes back to Pete, and this is who is the father of the rest of her 3 children. So now Tiffany has 5 kids and 3 baby daddies. So yes, y'all, Tiffany now has 5 kids or whatever. They're still in Mississippi, and you know, it seems like she isn't really doing too well financially. So Tiffany, you know, is dealing with these 5 kids. She doesn't have a job. She's not working. She really doesn't have a solid source of income or whatever. So she decides to start posting on Facebook. So Tiffany started to post regularly on Facebook. She started to go live on Facebook and started to do comedic skits. And Tiffany will find herself building a following of people just keeping up with her story. You know, she has these 5 kids. She's a single mother. And, you know, she's just trying to make sure that her babies are fed, her babies are good, and whatever that may be. So Tiffany built herself up a little following. These people would keep up with her day to day, make sure she's good, you know. And, of course, how every story goes, she starts asking for money. She starts asking for help. You know, she would be homeless at times, staying in rooms, staying in hotels, staying in these rundown houses, and that's a recurring thing that it seems like she likes to do, is buy these rundown properties, these fixer-upper houses, and, you know, fix them up for her and her family to live in. But of course, a lot of people have their criticism on these houses that she does choose because, you know, the conditions are really not the best. But we're gonna get into all that a little bit later in the video. So yes, y'all, Tiffany is going live. She's getting the support. You know, she's starting to see that I can really make money from this or whatever. So she's getting money from the videos that she's posting, the little skits or whatever, and she's starting to get money from her supporters directly, you know, through Cash App. She'll ask, can y'all help me with this? Can y'all help me with that? And, you know, they watch her, they support her, so they start to financially help her.
All right, I'm gonna get this one. I'm trying to work on it so I can get some more. They don't know how to support people. Yeah, shut y'all mouth up and leave people alone, man. Type your Cash App in. It ain't coming from their money, they worried about it. Y'all, leave it gone. Baby, my tax money just went on the house and the land that I posted on Facebook. Did you get on Facebook and see what I did with the money? Stop worrying about it. I sure did. And you said if I bragged on that tax money the other day on Facebook, and I bragged about that and I just bought. Did you see it on there? Stop worrying about what I'm doing for my family. Leave my supporters. I built this page up. What have you done? Nothing. But stop there and worry about ran your mouth and worry about what I got going on. Stop stepping in my lane and get you something, baby. Get you some business. Get you something going on. You have to worry about Tiffany Curry.
So this is kind of the time period that some of her supporters started to notice some patterns and things about Tiffany. So like I just said, they would notice that Tiffany would a lot of the time find her and her kids homeless. You know, she would be in rooms, motels, even in her car for a period of time. Like, they would find themselves homeless quite a lot. Then they started to notice that Tiffany would ask for this money and she would receive the money, but then she would be right back the next day. You know, the same typical storyline that we hear from these type of people. They go on live and ask for donations and things like that. There would always be some type of sob story. There would always be some type of situation. It would just always be something that kind of pushes her to this point that she needs to ask Facebook for money or whatever. You know, people started to catch on like, nah, Tiffany, we said we gonna help you now, but it's getting excessive at this point. It was like one of them, like, yeah, like, this happened, but you just said this happened to you know what I'm saying? Like, it was always something. So, you know, some of her supporters did start getting a little suspicious. Like, is there something else going on? You know, there have been a lot of suggests of drug use. Y'all know I don't really like putting that on nobody, but things just started to line up that Tiffany may have been or may still be was abusing some type of drug at this point. And have been people that come out later on in this video that have said that yes, Tiffany was abusing pills at this point. So that's what a majority of the people seems to think that Tiffany was doing at this point in time, when she was really just asking for money a lot. It was just always a situation, always something going on. And you know, when she would get the money, you really don't see where the money is going.
That man that was sleeping in, that you was on the phone with your husband, and when you walk in Keisha's back door, get what you got? She got a hole. She put the phone right here, right there in the kitchen. And get what? He laid there on the phone. She sneaking in, man. Her daughter do not have a room. You buying your daughter half-price shoes, she ain't got no room, and you couldn't even afford a bed and try to sleep with my uncle. God, and my uncle, you pull up in my uncle's house, he got tired of you. Your daughter sleeping on the floor with a $300 hairdo. Girls, you crazy? You slept with $5 million for that girl whole prom dress, man. It doesn't matter if I got a $2,000 that you slept for it.
So yes, y'all, either way that was kind of the situation at that point. Like, she would just go on live, ask for money and things like that, trying to upgrade her family's life or whatever the case may be, right? So during this time, she happens to meet a man named Poo Poo. Now, there are several stories about how Tiffany and Poo Poo came to be. Now, there's one lady named Mrs. Sage that has been keeping up with Tiffany for years. Now, I have seen some comments saying that this is actually like her stepsister, or like there's some type of relation, some type of in-law situation there. I haven't been able to see if that's true, but it does seem like they are from the same place. Like, you know what I'm saying? Miss Sage has some connection to Tiffany. So I'm not sure what connection she has to Tiffany, but she seems to know a lot about Tiffany or whatever.
Let me tell y'all something. If y'all knew that man's story, I promise you'll be on your knees praying to God for him. And honey, you wouldn't have to think twice about that crab roach and the shit she is. That man was walking down the street drunk. And she seen the man and thought he, he had a little money. He ain't had but a couple of dollars that night. He had done spent up his check paying his bills, and the little extra he had, he'd be up to the store, intoxicated. And you better tell him, Shay. Lachey, you better tell him, it'll make him cry. Because I don't think they really knew what was going on either, Tawana. I think, they just thought they was in a relationship because they were in a relationship. He thought they was getting married and all kind of shit.
So according to Miss Sage, Tiffany met Poo Poo on the street and he was basically a drunk. So Poo Poo was basically an alcoholic, and Miss Sage kind of says that Tiffany used that to her advantage. So she would purposely get Poo Poo drunk, or maybe not purposely, but you know what I mean. She would enable him to get drunk. She would provide the liquor, whatever that case may be. I think Miss Sage said she would keep him beered up. So she would provide him the beer, if that makes sense. Like, she would keep him drunk for the entertainment or whatever. So she started to be around Poo Poo. They started to make these skits. And when Tiffany and Poo Poo first started to post these skits or whatever, everybody thought that Poo Poo was her husband. Like, is this your man? Everybody assumed that Poo Poo was her man. So according to Tiffany, she says that once people just started to say that Poo Poo was her man, her and Poo Poo just ran with it. They was like, okay, we just gonna go with the flow. So after that, they just, they just didn't outright say that they're together, but all their skits would be like husband and wife type of skits, like boyfriend, girlfriend relationship type of skits.
All right. Poo Poo was my cousin. We did comedy together. So the video we did one video like we was girlfriend, boyfriend, so everybody could start assuming that was my husband. So we left it like that. All right.
So yes, y'all. So on the other hand, Tiffany claims that Poo Poo is her cousin. So she says that Poo Poo is her cousin. They came up with this idea to do skits. And, everybody thought they was in a relationship. So they took it and ran with it. So either way it goes, Tiffany and Poo Poo start making these skits, y'all. So they start making these skits. They posting them on Facebook and they start to blow up. Everybody loves these skits. Everybody thinks they're so funny. Both of their followers start to go up. And, they just become this comedic duo. So this is where the controversy comes to play for a lot of people. So, where it comes views, it comes money. Tiffany starts to make these big Facebook checks. So a lot of people think that Tiffany was keeping these Facebook checks and Pooh didn't get a dime. So they had a combined page or whatever where Tiffany was the account holder and she would be the one posting the videos of her and Poo Poo. So a lot of people feel like Tiffany would just take the checks. Poo Poo was not getting what he deserved from his part of these skits. And it seemed like a lot of people also believe that her and Poo Poo definitely had a sexual relationship going on. So as I'm reading through the Reddit and stuff like that, I'm starting to see that a lot of people think that Tiffany and Poo Poo was actually fucking and that Tiffany and her kids was actually staying at Poo Poo house. So they felt like Tiffany and Poo Poo had this kind of exchange going on, they was having a sexual relationship, and in exchange she got to stay at Poo Poo house and her kids had somewhere to lay their heads. So like I said, this is a rumor. Of course, Tiffany has not ever said that she slept with him. Poo Poo hasn't said that he slept with her, but this is what a lot of people believe what was going on. There also was some controversy of just the treatment of Poo Poo in general. Some people felt like Tiffany was using Poo Poo. A lot of people said that Poo Poo gets a disability check, SSI check or whatever. So she would be taking his checks. A lot of people just felt like Tiffany was getting a kick out of humiliating Poo Poo for views. Like, there was this one skit and she threw a bucket at his head really hard. So a lot of people was just feeling like, it was kind of a Queen Op and Shell type of situation at this point. Like, she's really getting a kick out of doing this stuff to Poo Poo. Now, of course, Poo Poo is a grown man. He can choose whether he wants to be a part of this or not. But there's a lot of people that just can't help but feel sorry for Poo Poo at this point in time because it really looked like she was slick exploiting him.
What kind lizard? A magic trick. Come on. Abracadabra. Who you spitting? Let me see your hand. That's it, abracadabra. It ain't in there. Now. It ain't in there. I know. Let me see your other hand. Goddamn.
But regardless, they had built up this big support system, and it seemed like a lot of people really enjoyed to see Tiffany and Poo Poo making content together. But seemingly out the blue, it was just like one day Tiffany just stopped making videos with Poo Poo or whatever. You know, she deleted the videos of her and Poo Poo off her page. She changed her channel name. And of course, that left folks wondering, where is Poo Poo? Like, what happened to you and Poo Poo? They would be in the comments asking Tiffany, like, you know, what happened? But she really wouldn't speak on it. But you know, life goes on, so she's continuing to make content for her audience or whatever. And during this whole time, she's mostly a Facebook girl. She's on Facebook, y'all. So she's making her content on Facebook or whatever. She still has her little support base, her fan base or whatever, but just without Poo Poo. So a little bit after her and Poo Poo fell out, there were still a lot of people under her post asking what happened to Poo Poo. So Tiffany decided to drop the bomb, and she told Facebook that the reason why she stopped fucking with Poo Poo is because Poo Poo was trying to be inappropriate with her oldest daughter, Mercedes. Tiffany claimed that Poo Poo tried to touch Mercedes inappropriately, and of course, Facebook was really heartbroken to hear this news. They were sorry for Mercedes. They were sorry for just the whole situation. It's a touchy subject, and you know, everybody was canceling Poo Poo at this point. So, of course, her audience was a bit confused and kind of disgusted when just a few months later, Tiffany would post a video on her page featuring Poo Poo. And, you know, she was hugging Poo Poo and saying that they would be back making videos again soon. So, you know, they was under the post like, didn't you say he tried to touch Mercedes? Like, wasn't this man being inappropriate with your daughter? Why would you bring him around again if what you said were true? So people started to question if Tiffany had lied at this point. Like, did you lie on this man because you were upset with him? Like, did he not want to make videos with you anymore? And then you make up this lie. You know, there was just a lot of rumors going around, and a lot of people started to not trust Tiffany or whatever. So she actually deleted that post, and she wouldn't talk about Poo Poo again until she made her transition to TikTok. But we gonna get into all that a little bit later.
And to stop Poo Poo after all what we done sat there and been through, bro. But still, why you still dealing with it anyway? We do that shit. But you still, he still causing drama. And you still with him and you still dealing with him. So what's the problem? So he gonna continue to do this shit and you still gonna continue to fuck with him? Cause you like it.
I mean, y'all what? Can you pull him
You like that shit, don't you? You like that he be trying to scrum it on. I don't give a fuck about the comment because it whack. It's like, I ain't talking about it. But then you letting that man talk about me, bruh. My motherfucking kids, bruh. Been all of us in the same motherfucking house together, man. Come on, that Poo Poo. You don't think that wrong?
Yeah, man. That's y'all, man.
How does y'all and he using you, dude?
Nah, he knew me.
How come he ain't? And saying you said that, you saying that.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You must think I ain't good. You think I ain't
I
good?
ain't saying you wouldn't.
Huh?
I ain't saying you wouldn't.
So what you think I owe you?
Nothing.
I ain't whooping.
Nah, you
I ain't gonna do what? 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 Huh? Keep my motherfucking kid name that thing. Motherfucking mouth, nigga.
I ain't saying
You understand me? You understand what the fuck you done sat there and caused me? You understand me? That you grew a part of my motherfucking family and that I love your motherfucking ass. Huh? Do you understand that? Huh? Let me go. Here, let my coat go. Here. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you understand that I love you? You do? You don't understand that shit, Poo Poo, that you hurting me, bro?
Yeah.
You don't understand that?
Yes,
So, you know, Tiffany deletes the video. She moves on like nothing happened. She's still posting. She's still going live or whatever, just without Poo Poo. And, you know, she still has a lot of her big supporters. So there was this one lady named Lady K. So Lady K was a big supporter of Tiffany. She really helped her out a lot. They lived in the same city. And, you know, she used to help Tiffany out when Tiffany and her children were living in their car. And tragically, in their city, there was a really bad car wreck that ended up taking the lives of 5 people. So Tiffany decided to make a GoFundMe on the behalf of the victims of the crash, and so her supporters could donate and help out the victims' families. So the GoFundMe actually ended up raising a lot of money. And, people were really proud of Tiffany. Like, this is for such a good cause. Like, this was really selfless of you. And, it was just good all around, or so everybody thought. So when the funds were given to the victim's family, people noticed that the numbers were not adding up. So it looked like Tiffany actually only gave the victim's families a portion of the amount that was actually raised.
Come on! Brandon! Mama, you in the bathroom? Oh, he in the bathroom, y'all. Hold on. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. Made $5,000, could be more. I swear to God on my life. I swear to God. I swear for living God. I swear to God on my life, on my kids, on my soul. I swear to God. I'm finna show out because the school board, the vice president of the school board in Batesville, Mississippi, baby, I never did tell them that I raised no $5,000 and that stuff was that, and I got the video they said that I said it with. Baby, I went back and got that video. I went back and got the whole video. That video was edited. I even went in the funeral home and told y'all that I took $600 something. I never did say that I raised $5,000, and I never did say that I raised $5,000 and took it to the funeral director home. So it doesn't matter if I said I raised $5,000, which I did. I never did say I gave $5,000 to the funeral home director. And it went for his business to get on there and discuss me and my kids' education. Man, the funeral director. And I'm not playing. Man, y'all sitting there running around here, the whole funeral was already paid for. So why would you sit there and take checks, cash app, and everything you said you took? One man paid for that whole funeral. So why would you continue to keep on taking money from everybody around here? Now, that's what y'all should have been questioning about.
Sue him for shit, because he ain't telling no lie on her. He can sue her. She the one going around lying on him.
But I bet you she won't find out I'm lying. I bet you that.
Thank you, Mr. Cooley. I wanted you to get your truth out, and I wanted them to understand that she just on him, like you said, begging and scamming people. So that's all I want.
One thing I know, whoever said that, one thing I know, the truth will sure set you free. And when you tell the truth, you ain't got to run. So a suit, I don't even think about that. She can bring all of them she want on. She know the truth when she hear, and she know I know her. One thing about it, when you're a good funeral director and take care of your community, I'll challenge any of y'all, go out there and ask something about Jericho and see if you're going to find anything in it.
So, of course, her supporters were outraged. They were really mad at Tiffany for doing this. They felt like they have been scammed. This was a fraud. Like this, they felt like they couldn't trust Tiffany after this, because how can we trust anything that you say after you done told us that we're donating to some victims' family and it's really bad wreck, and you're actually taking some of the money for yourself? So, this is really when people started to speak up about Tiffany's ways. Like, they felt like they had been scammed for long enough. Starting with the small begging from here to there, they would always be there ready to help Tiffany out with her family or whatever. So after the Poo Poo situation and then after this GoFundMe situation, a lot of people were just done with Tiffany at this point, to the point where they feel like they basically ran Tiffany off of Facebook. So Tiffany kind of went ghost on Facebook for a little bit after this because, she probably couldn't take the heat, y'all. They was really on her about this GoFundMe scam. So, after her little break on Facebook or whatever, while it was still hot on Facebook, Tiffany decides, let me go over there and try out TikTok. So Tiffany goes to TikTok. So Tiffany starts to post on TikTok. She starts to post more family-related content. She's posting videos of her kids, just their day-to-day life and just seeing how it goes over there. If you know anything about TikTok, you would know that it's a completely different audience than Facebook. So her videos started to pick up traction really, really quick. But it wasn't until she made a video of her and her kids. She had ordered a whole lot of food and she was feeding her kids one by one. They was coming up to get their plate. And once she posted this video went viral. She went up and, you know, she kept doing this same video concept over and over, and it kind of became her thing. She had found her niche on TikTok. So, you know, her numbers are jumping, views jumping, followers jumping. Tiffany has found a new platform. So over there on TikTok, they don't know nothing about what she done just did on Facebook. So mind you, she just played these people out their money and stuff like that. Her reputation on Facebook was really shaky at this point. But over there on TikTok, she was the #1 mama in the world. You know, they're over there praising her. Everybody loved them some big mama. So, you know, Tiffany was really reeling in at this point. She was getting a lot of money from this content. And this is when a lot of her old supporters felt like she really took a turn and started to be nasty towards her old supporters. So remember Lady K, the lady that was helping her out when her and her kids was down bad living in the car. So her and Lady K start to go back and forth. And Lady K actually ends up catching Tiffany slipping at the gas station. And, you know, she whoop her. Lady K whoops Tiffany. Tiffany not even fighting back. Y'all know I can't show no fights. I would if I could, but y'all can go to the Reddit and find that video. But Tiffany is not fighting back at all. She takes all the licks from Lady K. So Lady K ends up whooping Tiffany at the gas station, y'all. Yes, y'all, Lady K whooped Tiffany, and Tiffany ended up going down to the police station, and she actually pressed charges on Lady K. At this point, so many of Tiffany's old supporters were just done with her. They were done with how she switched up on them when she got on TikTok. They were done with the scams. They were done with the lies. So they actually end up paying all of Lady K's fines or whatever. So, you know, they helped Lady K get out that situation because they felt like she wasn't wrong for doing what she did to Tiffany. Yes, y'all, either way it goes, Tiffany is still over there blowing up on TikTok. So you can see that her followers went up. She hit 1 million followers, views going up, and you can definitely see that the money is going up. So she's now introducing these new types of videos where she's buying her kids all these things, new shoes, new clothes, giving them money, four-wheelers. She even done got the little baby a pony and stuff like that. Like, you could tell that Tiffany's getting some money now. So yeah, she continues to do her content or whatever, but you know, a few folks started to peep that she was kind of braggy about her money. You know, she would kind of bring up her money and stuff, and a few of her supporters got in the comments like, we remember times when you didn't have nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be humble sometime. Like, we remember when you was asking us for help, you know? So she did have a few of those moments where she would be outspoken and just kind of in a braggy. She just kind of seemed in that type of way, but it was really nothing too negative on TikTok at this point about Big Mama.
Let me just say this to the ones in the comment, the very fruit. Oh, it might be something bigger going on in her house. What? I don't think bigger going on is your bills and you can't pay them. Let me just say this. I see a lot of people saying you need to get a job. Don't tell me how to get a job. We eat out every day. Bills paid. I got 5 houses and finna be number 6 with land properties everywhere. Stop worrying about me. What you want me to do? Get a job just like you and you ain't got nothing? See, a lot of y'all still working. It ain't got where you want to be at because y'all here playing. You out here worrying about other folks. Ain't trying to do what you got to do. Stop talking about me because I'm a legend around here. Big boss. Oh, guess what? I sleep when I get ready and get up when I get ready. Tell you again, I make $50,000 a month. $50,000 a month. I can afford whatever I want to. I make money in my sleep, baby. I make money sitting down. See, one thing about us, we blessed.
And you know, there was a few comments that would point out that her oldest daughter, Mercedes, would always be last to eat. And, you know, they kind of peeped that she had a favoritism towards her youngest daughter, whose name is Jolly. Tiffany claims that Jolly is autistic. And, you know, she kind of seems to have favoritism for Jolly sometimes. That's what a few of the comments was saying. And they were just mainly kind of highlighting that Mercedes would always eat last. And, you know, they just kind of peeped that Mercedes would kind of just not be into the videos and the skits and stuff like that. So, yes, y'all, people started to point out about Mercedes. And, you know, of course, Tiffany took to TikTok to let people know, like, it's nothing wrong with her. I know what's going on. Y'all don't be knowing, you know, just kind of went on a rant or whatever.
Let me just say this. I see a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, you be feeding your daughter last. My daughter's 18 years old. My daughter's grown now, right? Right? While the other kids is underage, right? Let me tell you something. I always have fed the kid youngest to the oldest. That's just the way I was raised, baby. You don't put bigger kids before little kids. And it doesn't matter. I don't never show favoritism between none of my kids because my daughter eating. All of them eating, baby. I ain't got no favoritism when it comes to my children. Do you hear me? The same people that talk and put their kids out when they get 18 or before they get 18. The same people that can't even get along, have a relationship with their own kids and over here in my business, baby. Find you something else to do. My daughter was the first one to get a car. Find y'all something else to do.
So, you know, it was a few people that kind of had suspicions. There's something deeper going on with her and Mercedes, but Tiffany tried to clear it up. She like, nothing going on. Mercedes is grown. She's 18 years old. Like, you know, she's still staying at my house. These other kids are younger than her. They're still minors. Mercedes is grown. And mind you, Mercedes is 18, right? And she's in the 11th grade. So Mercedes should have already graduated high school. So this is another thing people really got on Tiffany about on Facebook, is that when the kids was younger, Tiffany actually held them kids from school. The kids was not going to school because allegedly Tiffany got into it with staff at the school, and you know, they told her that Tiffany herself was banned from the campus. But instead of just, you know, finding another way to get the kids to school, Tiffany decided to pull all the kids from school, so they was left behind a couple years or whatever. So that's the reason why some of her kids are not in the right grades. Her kids started school late or whatever. So yes, y'all, that's why Mercedes is 18 and she's still in high school.
All right, y'all, this big mama, I need y'all help real bad. All right, a teacher called my daughter dumb. You know, my daughter that be in the videos with me. This is my story I need to get out and I need to tell y'all. A teacher sitting there bullying a child, calling my baby dumb, and then everybody was laughing at my baby. I tried to protect my daughter, going to the superintendent office and telling what was going on. He didn't want to listen. He didn't want to listen. They banned me from every school it is in this county, and basically in Mississippi. I got to get my story out, baby. I can't even sign my kids in school. And what's so bad about it, we in Mississippi. You know how Mississippi rolls. I tried to protect my daughter, and my daughter was so sad that I got banned from all schools forever. I got 5 kids, y'all. She got into depression mode. I had to get her help because she started doing bad things to herself. How do it feel for a mother of a child that's suffering inside and you can't do nothing about it? That hurted my family. I'm going to get justice for my baby. And what's so bad about it, in the meeting, the woman admitted that she called my baby dumb. I got 5 kids, and they banned me from all my kids' schools, different schools. My daughter was in the middle school, baby. They banned me from the elementary school, intermediate school, everything. I still got rights. How you going to do this after a teacher, the minute they calling my baby dumb, bullying my child? Do you know what bullying doing to kids these days? They are hurting themselves. They taking their life. They're destroying them. It's not nice to bully people, man. We got to stop that. We got to do something about it. I know one thing. I'm going to protect my baby. I'm going to protect my kids. My kids missing out on education right now. And I can't even sign now one of my kids in school, baby. My kids don't go to school. I can't sign them in school.
So yeah, Tiffany started to go on TikTok live and stuff like that, and this is when people kind of learn about, you know, who this big mama character really is. They seen that Tiffany is very outspoken and stuff like that, and a few people started to recognize her from her skits with Poo Poo. So, you know, the question started to be brought up, like, what happened to you and Poo Poo? What happened to you and Poo Poo? So one day, Tiffany decided to address what really happened with Poo Poo.
Now, so, okay, let me tell y'all, Poo Poo made a video about me. A lot of people had want to know why they come to the end. Now, tell the truth. Tell the truth why they come to the end. They come to the end because you tried my daughter. You tried to touch my daughter in the kitchen, baby. Now, I don't know why you making video, but you tried to comment on. Some people can't even comment. People screenshot shit and they're telling me. One thing about Poo Poo, you ain't gonna tell the truth. But one thing about it, I put $5,000. You come up with $500. Come up with $500 to my $5,000, baby. Come on, for the lie detector tips. Come on, you tried to mess with my daughter, baby. You tried to mess with my daughter, and you keep on talking. It's no limit. It's no limit on stuff like that. You still can go to jail. You tried to. Tell everybody that you tried your own mama, that you touched your mama, that you was beating your mother. Tell it. I'm the reason. I'm the reason why your mama got a break, baby. You was messing with your own people. Tell them that you was in a relationship with that man till that man died. Tell them how many relationship that you was going with a man. That your first man was Elliot, right? Tell them how you messed with a dog named Honey. Tell them how you put peanut butter on your thing. Tell them that you made the dog lick it. Tell them that, baby. Tell them that.
So Tiffany claims that her and Poo Poo no longer speak, no longer talk, because Poo Poo allegedly tried to do something with her daughter Mercedes. So of course, when Tiffany dropped this news, people is really mad at Poo Poo. Like, so they start digging Poo Poo up, because Poo Poo haven't been posting nothing. He just been chilling. Like, he been doing his own thing. He's not into the really social medias like that. He wasn't making skits or nothing. He's chilling. He's living his life. So, you know, people started to dig Poo Poo up, and they find out that, you know, Poo Poo done clean himself up. He's looking clean. It don't look like he drink anymore. He done found him a wife, and he had just had a baby. So, you know, people are like, oh, wow, Poo Poo really cleaned up or whatever. But, you know, Poo Poo started to see the attention he getting out, and, you know, he find out Tiffany been speaking on him. So Poo Poo is denying all these claims. He's saying this did not happen. I did not touch her daughter or whatever. Like, he's saying that Tiffany's lying on him.
Hello, y'all. This is Jared, better known as Poo Poo. I want all my fans to listen up. This girl named Tiffany Curry, better known as Big Mama, she going around here lying on me, man. Talking about I touched her daughter. I did not touch her daughter. She lying on me. And if y'all want to believe her, that's y'all. But I know I didn't touch her daughter. And she already in Mississippi, starting up mess with her brothers and things. And you know what I'm saying? She ain't right, man. You know, she needs to stop posting them videos with me on there, cause I'm not with her. I do my own thing. So I'm asking her to stop doing that.
So yes, y'all, a little after this Poo Poo incident or whatever, Tiffany's brother actually came to social media to kind of tell his side of the story dealing with his sister Tiffany. Now, Tiffany has several brothers that she sometimes talk about on her page, but this is the brother that she says just got out of jail. And she even gives him a car, and she gives him some money on live. Now, brother stays there for a few, and then we kind of just stop seeing him or whatever, and it just goes back to the regular content.
All y'all following my sister, and I don't know why, because the content, majority of it that she do at home is really based off lies. Like, you know what I'm saying, like she say she care about the kids or whatever and shit like that. You know what I'm saying, I'm gonna put it out there. You know what I'm saying, I got into it with her for calling Mercedes dumb bitches and dumb ass hoes and, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. You know what I'm saying, I told her, but then the shit get turned out to be my fault when I'm trying to tell her something right, but she don't want to take advice. You know what I'm saying? She threaten the kids all the time, threaten to hit them with broomsticks, mops. It don't matter what it is. The kids scared. The kids in that house scared, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I got out, them kids ran to me. They hugged me. Every day I showed up, them kids, they love me. I treat them right. I respect them. I play with them. You know what I'm saying? I play with them. I respect them. You know what I'm saying? They respect me too. Every time they see me, they want to hug me. They want to say, you know, how my day is. You know what I'm saying? What I'm doing today. But she'll come around and threaten the kids not to even talk to me type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even be around. I don't even stay around here. I don't even stay around. You know what I'm saying? So I just decided to come, you know what I'm saying, and get my stuff that I had down there. I ain't even go in the yard. You know what I'm saying? I just parked on the side of the road, waited till my brother to bring it to me. Shoes, clothes, socks, brand new boxers, t-shirts, shit like that. And shit, I left. I ain't say nothing to her. I ain't even see her. So she couldn't have never told me to leave. I ain't even see her. And that's just like I said, like, the $5,000 that she supposed to have been gave me, that y'all thought that she gave me, she didn't give it to me, because when the video was over with, she got it back. She bought me a car for $2,900, you know what I'm saying? But it was something wrong with the car. So I traded the car in, turned around, paid $1,500 down on the car on the truck and traded the car in. Next thing I know, shit, she told me I'm trifling. I ain't no good. I should have never done that. Like, how you gonna tell me what to do with something that you bought me? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna try to make it back and forth to go to work, you know what I'm saying, with the car because the defrost didn't even work. It was cold. Shit, like, what I'm gonna do that for? And as far as putting my hands on her, man, I ain't never, not me. I don't know about the rest of them, but not me. Anybody.
Let me break this down. Let me tell y'all something. My brother, the one that just got out of jail, let me tell you something. Since you want to get him in there to about some 5,000. And don't say, oh, she said, no, I'm going to tell you something. Because I stopped dealing with him in October. And I told him to leave me alone. Don't come to my house. Let me tell y'all what happened. When I bought him that car, he came back and asked me for a down payment on a truck. The reason why he wanted the truck because he was telling people he didn't want the car. I didn't have to buy you nothing. I didn't owe you nothing. Everything I got because of me and my children, we built it. You traded that car in. When I ain't give you the down payment, I told you to keep that car. You quit your job. And who you were getting the money from? Me? You think you were finna stress me out even more? Even though I know I helped you and I know you didn't appreciate me. I knew it was coming. All my brother do is get on the internet. Every last one of them sit there and talk about me after everybody done seen the world, how I done took care of y'all. Ain't nobody giving me nothing. Y'all ain't seen nobody give me nothing. Tell them show proof that they gave me something. They ain't gave me nothing. I ain't had to do that. I see why a lot of families don't tell me.
Kid and all, he don't care nothing about neither one of them. In her face. Yeah, Tiffany don't care about them kids. Tiffany beat them kids like they dog, man. Keep them in the house. Them kids can't do nothing. And then she sit here, she done sat on the floor, I don't know how many times, and sat there and asked for donation.
He said, we gotta say schools.
All right, she done sat there and asked for donation, talking about she need to get something to eat on that floor. And I walked past, I don't know what she talking about. I said, Tiffany, I help you get something to eat. And as soon as she get off that phone, live, where you want to call it, she got to go get some Skittles. She don't go get no food, she go get Skittles.
So now we have two of Tiffany's brothers saying that she does Mercedes bad. She doesn't let Mercedes do anything. Basically, like, she just keeping Mercedes in the house. She don't want Mercedes to get no job. She doesn't want Mercedes to be independent. And plus, y'all remember the lady, Mrs. Sage, she's still keeping up on Tiffany. You know, she's trying to spread the news about Tiffany over there on TikTok. She's now on TikTok and she's spreading the news. She's telling what she knows. And y'all, it's just a few key characters start coming out to the light and they start, you know, kind of spilling the beans on Tiffany. But there was also an incident where a young lady came to TikTok and she decided to share her story about sexual assault or abuse done by one of Tiffany's brothers. So she goes to share her story or whatever, and I'm not sure which specific brother she's talking about, but no, it's not the one that just got out of jail. I'm not sure if it was the brother that was in the box in that live video, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put that on nobody. I'm not too sure which one she's talking about, but it's not the one that just got out of jail or whatever. Yeah, either way it go, you know, this story kind of start getting around or whatever and then land on Tiffany's desk. So Tiffany decided to, you know, respond to that video.
Family, leave me alone. Now, it's a story going around saying that my brother supposed to been did something to his stepdaughter. I ain't got nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, that girl telling the truth. But I ain't got to pay nobody to tell nothing like that. That between y'all. My brothers are known for doing stuff like that. That's what y'all don't understand, and a lot of stuff be hidden. Then I tell you, my brothers on my mama's side and dad's side did to me. They are known to do stuff like that. But what they got going on, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Why would I pay somebody to say something like that, bro? Why? Who are you? You're nobody to me. Why? I don't care about y'all.
Tiffany is all in agreement with this young lady, and she's saying like, yeah, this, I know that's true because it's happened to me. So now Tiffany is putting these allegations on her brother that they was doing stuff to her when they was young. So yes, y'all, it's like the story just keep getting deeper and deeper and just family intertwines and all this and all that. So Tiffany get into Aunt D box, and if you don't know Aunt D, she's the mother of the two special needs children, Shay and Bria. So Tiffany decides to get in Aunt D box, and you know, they're just talking when all of a sudden Tiffany admits that her baby daddy and her brother have did something before, and she has caught them in the acts.
You young. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I had a man that I was in a relationship for 5 years. First, I didn't even know he was married. I didn't know that South Suck was married. When I found out that South Suck was married, ooh, I told it tail up. But anyway, my brother and them had started moving in with me. And when my brother and them started moving in with me, they convinced my boyfriend to go move in another trailer with them. Don't you know he moved in with them? He left me for my brother. I called him. Oh, I can't
In the hell?
I called him in the car with my brother doing something to him. I can't even tell you. I can't
You
say
know, before you said that.
So yes, y'all, Tiffany admits that she has in fact caught her baby daddy and her brother doing some suspicious together. So yeah, she doesn't mention which baby daddy or which brother, y'all, but yeah, she has confirmed that this has happened. Yes, y'all, at this point, Tiffany is just having all these claims, it's all these allegations being thrown, and it's just a lot of inappropriate contact, it seemed like it's happening in this family. But yeah, y'all, she makes these claims or whatever, that she makes these allegations, but life goes on. She's continuing to post her content. She's still getting these views. She's still getting the attention or whatever. So, you know, things kind of went quiet on the drama side because it wasn't nothing going on with her until just recently, about a week or so ago, Tiffany decides to go live and she gets the bashing Mercedes.
Have y'all paid attention that I ain't got no man? Have y'all paid attention that my kids don't have friends around? I got best friends. She tried to date every last one of their kids, even their girls. She was with Jane friend. That's embarrassing. That James can't have no friend, that you trying to date Jane friend. Bro, Mari can't have no friend. We cannot have nobody around us. If anybody walk in this yard right now and I don't care what nobody say. I ain't had no business paying these people, and these people slept with my daughter. You started talking to my daughter for 2 days. I don't care. I paid you to do opponent, not do my daughter. They plotted on her. Both of them came to me, asked me. My daughter been messing around with people ever since she was 8 years old. You put her in a room, you put a phone in that recorder, she gonna do something.
Imagine that you hire somebody to fix a sink in your house. But they end up with your child, your daughters. Imagine it now. Imagine that you hire somebody to fix a sink in your house and they end up with your child or your daughter. Go on, doing it behind your back. That wasn't a plan. That wasn't a deal. Now what a real mother and a father would have did. Especially a real father. Tell me what a real father is. What you would have did to protect your children, your family. Imagine that you hired somebody that got paid and they end up going behind your back, getting your daughter or your child. What would you would have did? Now, the mother said that she's saying that I knew about them. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You said that you've been talking to Mercedes. You got on the internet and you said that I need to come to you about your child, your 19-year-old child, that I need to come to you. You didn't come to me when you were talking to my child behind my back. Make that make sense. Why you didn't get my number from my daughter? A real man wouldn't have been sneaking. A real man would have dropped off down the road. He would have dropped at the front door. It's barbed wire over there. I show y'all everything in the woods. She can't get through there. Barbed wire at the fence at the bottom. I showed y'all. He dropped it at the end of the road. She came running through the little field. Jolly was waiting on my brother to come in the house because he opened the fence for me. When he was coming in the house, we seen something. But I didn't know for sure. Jolly started hollering. Told my brother, Andy, somebody behind you, somebody behind you. She's just a little girl. She don't know what's going on. She didn't know Mercedes was gone because Mercedes put pillows in her bed to make like she was still there. My daughter is not crying because of me. She crying because she sat outside waiting on a boy that didn't come back. But see, when you do grown folk things, this is what we teach you. I told you to stay in school and do right. You got all the time in the world to do something, to be grown. But let me let y'all hear this. Y'all in the dark sneaking, bro. I didn't want to, teach you. I didn't know how to go about it, Did you got a house for her? Yeah. Why can't you take care of her? Gonna take her to school. I'm not ready for that. No, you ain't got time for her. Now, didn't the mother tell y'all, said that I knew? I told y'all. I didn't know.
Tiffany goes live. She's upset. Everybody's asking her what's wrong. And she just kind of goes into this rant about Mercedes. So, Apparently, she's claiming that Mercedes got a boyfriend and approve of it, and she's calling Mercedes fast. She says Mercedes has been fast since she was only 8 years old. And, you know, she just goes into saying, like, she doesn't have any friends because of Mercedes. She feels bad when Mercedes does this to kids because she got to feel like, you know, she feel like a bad person because her child is doing sexually inappropriate things with kids, y'all. So, of course, everybody was shocked when she started talking like this. Like, how do you mean somebody can be fast at 8 years old? Like, why would she be doing these sexual things at 8 years old? Kids just don't do that out of nowhere. Somebody had to show them how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, something happened. So Tiffany claimed that Mercedes has left, you know, and that's why she's kind of going on this rant and telling all her business. Mercedes denied everything, basically everything. So she says the boy is not 14. He's actually 19 years old. So, you know, Mercedes ended up going live after all the controversy. You know, everybody ran to her page and like, girl, your mama is talking crazy about you. So she ended up going live.
I'm hypersexual. Oh, my God. Where did that come from? I was messing with him. Oh my God, where did this come from? I would give my, y'all, okay. She said I would give my money away to a dude. Mind you, that $2,000 went on shoes, clothes, auto, and everything. That $2,000 did not go with no dude. That boy got his own money. What? And then she said I been giving my money to him. No. When I left that night, I didn't have no money on me at all. Hold on, every man or boy that come to her. Oh my God. That's a lie. Every man or boy that come to the house he's talking to them, that's a lie. That's a lie. And she said I was talking to a little kid, and she said, I like it, the therapist. Y'all, she said I like it, the therapist. Y'all, where did that come from? What? Hold on. She make it seem like I'm just ran through and I don't even do it. I be at home. Shoot, like. I've been giving out since 8. What? I wouldn't even think about that when I was 8.
And she said she asked to be dropped down the street because she already knew that her mama would be mad to see her with a boy or whatever because her mama does not want her to have a boyfriend. So yeah, Mercedes denied everything. Then the boyfriend done popped out. So he bring it to TikTok and he get to talking about the situation like none of that happened. Like, yeah, her mama is lying. And, you know, he tell his side of the story. So yes, y'all, Mercedes and the boyfriend say the mama is lying. The mama keep going and saying that, you know what I'm saying, she been doing this, she's been like this. I just didn't want to tell y'all how she is. She fast, she been doing stuff like this or whatever. So people are really like, wow, like I would never expect Big Mama to say something like this. But you know what I'm saying, if you done sat through this video, you would know that this is not the first time she done put these kind of allegations on somebody. It seemed like a reoccurring thing that she keep doing. A lot of people feel like Tiffany is a liar. A lot of people feel like Tiffany fabricates these stories for attention. She does this for donations. She does this for cash apps. But y'all know it's 3 sides to every story. I'm never going to sit up here and say somebody lying about sexual assault and stuff like that. I feel like if you can lie about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing to lie about. So I'm not just going to say nobody lying, but I will say it's definitely a reoccurring theme with Tiffany. She loves putting these allegations on people, y'all. But yes, y'all, back to her and Mercedes. So I guess Mercedes went to her friend's house or something for a few days, but she ended up coming back home. And, you know, Tiffany go ahead and post a picture of her and Mercedes hugged up, like Mercedes back home or whatever. But, you know, TikTok be on that. So they was already on her ass. Even before she posted that, even after she posted that, they still in the comments like, we ain't forget, justice for Mercedes, da-da-da. Because it's like, that was a really crazy situation to them. I feel like this is the first time TikTok really seen who Big Mama is, because if you was really doing your research and stuff, you would see that Miss Tiffany been doing stuff like this for a minute. So it's really not too hard to believe that maybe she did make all this up about Mercedes. And maybe she did make all that up about everybody else that come around her. You know what I mean? It just seemed like a pattern, and it's too much to be a coincidence at this point. But yes, y'all, Mercedes is home and she back to posting her regular content. But you know, they in the comments real heavy now after that Mercedes incident. You know, they not really off her yet, but y'all know TikTok can be forgiving, so I'm sure she'll bounce right back and there'll be something else coming up. So we'll definitely keep up with them and see what's going on. But yes, y'all, I think that about covered everything. Like, you know, she really had a lot going on the Facebook side. So y'all let me know what I missed. I know I missed a lot because them Reddit pages and that Facebook page is deep. I can't get every little detail, but I tried to hit the most talked about stuff, like the scam, the Poo Poo situation, the brother situation, Mrs. Sage side of the story. You know, I think I hit pretty good. So, you know, y'all just let everybody else know in the comments what y'all know. Let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in my next one.
My
Bye,
bad,
y'all.
girl. I just finished the video. Girl, D had some tea today. Let me tell you.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it.